Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben. Well, it's the day after the horrible storm Dudley, and yes, I have been down to the allotment today. That'll have been yesterday if you're listening today. I always record the episode a day before, so that it's out and ready for you to listen from 6 o'clock in the morning if possible. So yeah, I was down at the allotment today when Storm Dudley was first off hitting where I am in Sheffield, and to be honest, it seemed really bad. I was inside my shed for some of it as it was raining at the time, so I was trying to stay protected from the rain, and my shed was literally shaking from the winds, and I was thinking it's going to take off any minute. You'll see me flying somewhere over the rainbow to another land. But yeah, I am so praying that it's still standing tomorrow. I'm currently just charging up my drill as we speak, because I have lost a few plastic sheets off the shed. It's just that corrugated plastic, what you can purchase. It has been up for about 6 years, so they've withstood the wind and everything for 6 years or so. So it's had its money's worth. And the sheeting's about £8 to replace them, but where they've cracked, I'm thinking I will be able to drill them back on. They should be okay to drill back on. So my plan is tomorrow to take all the front off my shed, undrill it all and make it stronger, because it didn't have like enough wood to screw onto, so they were rattling around in the wind, and that's what's caused them to crack where the screws are and snap basically, and crack off. So hopefully I can get all that done tomorrow. So I'm charging my drill up as we speak, but you never know, I might go back to the allotment tomorrow and there not be no shed there whatsoever. I might be building a brand new shed from scratch, but hopefully it won't come to that. And if it does, I'll definitely be setting up a GoFundMe page, because I can't afford to build another shed from scratch. Not at the moment, not until we get millions of people listening to this podcast, which will take certainly some time to do. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get down to the plot tomorrow. Come rain or shine, I'm going to be working outside and getting my shed back fastened up together. And we have Storm Eugene coming on Friday, which is going to be a lot stronger than this one apparently. So I am dreading that, because it was shaking around today, and if it's going to be even stronger, we'll see if it withstands Storm Eugene. And the thing is, I won't be back down to the plot after Friday for another 4 days, so if it blows over, it's down for a bit, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it will stand the storm, but we'll have to see. I will certainly share pictures of it if it does blow away. You just have to laugh at these things sometimes, definitely. But yeah, we have been good. We've been busy on the plot today, digging over my beds, getting all them cleared. We've still got quite a few more beds to do, so yeah, we've plenty of work to get done. So I'm quite pleased we've possibly cleared about 3 or 4 beds. We've probably got about 6 or so to go, so we are cracking on, and then it's moving on to all my pathways, getting all them cleared, and then getting all the rubbish cleared away, and then I can move on to clearing the top of my plot. That's the bit that I've not really used fully yet. I planted a few spring bulbs last year, but I don't know if they'll come through or not. They're currently covered over with leaves and rubbish and weeds at the moment, so we'll see if they come through. You never know, they might do. We might get a nice display. And then it's a case of getting rid of all the rubbish off there. And also, one of my friends popped down to see me on my allotment and brought me some coffee, which is always a very good welcome. I'm always pleased to see him when he brings coffee down to me, down at the plot. I made a bit of a catch up. and just showing him my shed and how well it is. And yeah, there's lots of work to get done in there, but we'll get it all done with. And yeah, I've been busy doing articles. I'm starting to try and do more articles to share on my Facebook page, because not everybody's got access to podcasts, and some people prefer just to have a read so that they can go over stuff again. So yeah, yesterday I shared all the seeds that we can plant in February. Obviously I've done that on a podcast, but like I said, it's sometimes good to read and see what things actually need doing, and then you can tick them off as you've done them. And then also I've shared today, well yesterday if you're listening to it now, we shared what jobs need doing in the garden, especially when it's not blowing a gale. I'm sure most people's jobs over the next few days will be doing repairing and fixing greenhouses and polytunnels that are blown away, and pots that are blown over, and bulbs that have blown flat, and trees falling over everywhere. So yeah, there's going to be quite a lot of work to do from the winds, what everybody's having at the moment. So we're going to get stuck in with all that. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow's Thursday, or today's Thursday. I keep thinking, yeah. So we've got Thursday and Friday at the allotment. So hopefully I may possibly get all my beds dug over by the end of the week. We will have to wait and see. If I put in the hours and the time and the weather stays decent, like I said, I'm hoping that it's going to be a dry day tomorrow. Looking at the weather forecast for today, it's actually going to be alright. I'm hoping that the rain doesn't come until later in the day, and then on Friday it might be a washout if this storm does come, but we're going to have to wait and see if we can get stuff done. But I will definitely still go down to the plot on Friday, and I'll be working in my shed if it's raining, because we've got to start cracking on with now getting that ready for the seeds, because we're only about a month away from when I'm going to be planting all my seeds. So it's got to be in shape and tidy and all my shelving put up, because if you've not followed my pictures before of what my shed looks like in the springtime, you will be amazed with how many seeds I do. Anyone would think that I'm doing it for a living, selling plants, but I'm certainly not. I just absolutely fill my shed to busting, because I do share all the plants out as well, what I grow on my seeds with allotment holders. So think yourself lucky if you're on my allotment plot, because I do share stuff out if I've got leftovers and stuff like that, because I do love to share. Like I said, I'm going to be growing so many flowers this year. I bought all my flower seeds the other week, and that alone possibly about 30 packets. So I'm going to need 30 trays for that, so I'm going to have to try and get some more trays. I use gravel trays because they're a lot stronger than the plastic seed tray ones, but as long as you make sure you drill some holes in them to have drainage in them, they are perfect, and they'll last for years as well. You won't have no issues with them. Once you've got them, you won't need to replace them ever, unless you stand on them and break them. But hopefully you won't be doing that. But yeah, we've got lots of gravel trays as it is myself. I did used to have the cheap plastic ones, but we've replaced them all with gravel ones eventually. I usually wait until they're on sale, but we'll have to have a look around and see what we can get if we do need any more. But we'll have a look around. I do like to recycle tubs as well, like when you've had your grapes, and I even use all my milk cartons as well. I have 4 pints of milk when I get my milk, and I save all them. I cut the tops off them, and I put some holes in the bottom of them, and use them to sow my seeds in, because you don't need big seed trays for some seeds, because they've only got about 5 or 6 seeds in them. So you can just plant them in them and use stuff if you can do, and save yourself money as much as possible, really, because it can be expensive gardening. Obviously, you get the enjoyment out of it, but it can cost you more to do the growing of the fruit and vegetables than actually go out and purchase the vegetables themselves. But it's the taste, it certainly is a lot better. So yep, if you're new to this podcast and you've not clicked that subscribe button, make sure you do click that subscribe button, and then you get notified when new podcasts come up. And keep sharing them, and keep sending me messages about the podcast episodes. If you've got any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram, Gardening with Ben. Until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.